guidelines since the 1980s. We've been told by the government, these are the things we should be eating if we want to be healthy, but we never had exercise guidelines. It wasn't until 10 years ago that the Department of Health and Human Services issued the first ever physical activity guidelines for Americans. Now these were basically a call to action because they said all adults should strength train on a weekly basis. And this was a mind numbing experience because nobody has been told this before. My father, who's now 83, who does strength train with us, he would have said that's a ridiculous notion 30 years ago. But now we have good, strong scientific evidence. Federal health agencies are saying we all should be strength training as adults. So who else says that we should strength train? The Department of Health and Human Services, the Centers for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, the American Heart Association. So this is not a fringe idea that we should pay attention to our muscles as we're aging. Now, we all can agree with the concept that it's probably better to move and be active as you age, right? Nobody says that a lot of bed rest is good as I'm getting older. It's good to get out, do things, be active, and just live your life and not be sitting in a chair all day. Pretty much that's intuitively obvious. People know this. And so one of the challenges that we face in America is that it becomes harder and harder and harder to do that because we're experiencing what doctors call sarcopenia, just a medical term for muscle loss as we age. So if you look at someone who's 90, and Al is the exception here, but if you look at someone who's 90 today, compare them to someone who's 50, what's obvious about them immediately is the person who's 90 moves slower, can't do as much. It is 110% due to muscle loss. Now, we thought for years this was a normal part of aging. We now know that's 100% wrong. It is completely due to what's called disuse atrophy. It means the less you use your muscles, the more they go away. So being strong gives us the chance to go take a walk. It gives us a chance to travel or do whatever it is we want to do that tends to go away in our culture as we get older because we're just not strong enough. It's that plain and simple. So point number one here is muscle does matter as we age, despite what we've thought for 200 years here in the United States. Now, what is the 1% rule? If we look at the guidelines that currently exist, what is the biggest barrier? People, you might listen to me today and say, oh, that's interesting, sounds good, not a bad idea. You might go home and do absolutely nothing about it. What is the number one barrier for why people are unlikely to adopt any exercise in their life? Any idea what it is? Time. It's time. We're already overbooked, overstressed. We're all trying to capture a little bit of downtime, a little bit of time to live the life that we want to live. So time is a barrier. So we look at the current exercise guidelines for strength training. They tell us 2 or 3 full body strength workouts a week. And what differentiates 2 from 3 is intensity. The harder you work, the less you should do. You should have more rest and recovery. So what we do at Med Fitness is 2 full body workouts a week, 25 minutes a shot. You're in and out, less than 1% of your week to capture the health and vitality that we're all looking for these days. So it's a very small piece of time. And now why wouldn't it make sense to take this more is better approach? We tend to like to think that more is better here in the United States. If something's good for me, then more has to be better for me. Well, we're all getting older, right? We're all aging day by day, year by year. And so with that comes a reduced ability to recover from intense muscular work. What's your name, sir?
Ed.
Ed. So if I take Ed through a challenging workout, how old are you, Ed?
65.
So it's 65. If I work him hard today, we can make him strong and healthy, but we simply have to give him more time to recover at 65 than when he was 45. He should still do it, he just needs a slightly longer rest cycle. So our body's ability to recover does go down some. It doesn't mean we shouldn't still stimulate our muscles to be healthy. And so because we're losing the ability to recover, we just have to have more rest days in between. So we do twice a week. Our average client is actually 66 at Med Fitness, which is very uncommon for the fitness